Shout out to the God Turk, Supreme Clientele Radio. Diablo, SR the General, full blast the beat God. Graff Champs, yeah, Graff Champs, Graff Champs, yeah, Graff Champs. Shout out the 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 Graff Champs. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tune in to Graff Champs. We appreciate the love and support for all the Graff Camps. The most amazing and iconic artists out here smashing it from the train yards to the rooftops to the storefronts, highways catching wreck. SR the General, he be going crazy, bro, from his Instagram account, Supreme Clientele Radio. Interviewing all the icons, the ones that led the way. Salute to all the fallen legends, the ones that set the stage. Moment of silence, let us remember those. Peace. Whether they family or they were friend or foe. Hate them or love them, let's show them some respect. Major contribution in hip-hop, Graff Champs to the death. Ready and willing, never scared to fry. Never. Chancing the odds of getting up, prepared to rise. Super talented vandals, never scared to die. Let's show them love while they breathing. Go ahead and share the life, share the life. So tell a friend to go and tell a friend. Interviews are dope from the start up to the end. To the end. Let's show him love and call it glory time. Repost his post on your post, share his post up on your storyline. We Graff Champs. We out.
Oh, here we go, baby. Here we
General.
go. Yo, so you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Good.
All right, cool, yo. Before we start anything, I want to let you know, since I gotta let you know what it is. Like this episode right here, so many people. This is dear to a lot of people, my nigga. Right here, you're the creator of a lot of shit that went on. You know what I'm saying? The startup. You know what I'm saying? Like other niggas that's on right now too and shit. So thank you for sharing your time and coming to Graff Champs, my bro. We salute you, big DEK, baby. Alright, so yo, in Graff Champs fashion, we're gonna start from the beginning, all the way from the beginning. So we want to know what
Graff Champs, full blast music to beat God. Straight 16, straight to boss of bosses, 4-5 to God. Butcher boys.
My bad. Let's cut this shit off. My bad. Yo, what got you into graffiti from the beginning? How did DEK get into graffiti, bro?
I had a friend named Thomas. Thomas, he lived on Hart Street. I used to hang out on Hart Street in Bushwick, between Bushwick and Evergreen. And my friend Thomas, he was like 2 years older than me. He used to write Lucky. So he used to write Lucky all over the place. And I had a friend, Andre, that lived on Cedar Street, that he used to write PF. But I didn't write nothing, but they was always writing all over the place. And so I said, I'm with them. I got to come up with something right, you know. So I came up with Matt, M-A-T-T. You know, I wrote Matt for like maybe a year. I never wrote on trains, no bombing, just, you know, here and there. You know, and then eventually I started meeting like real writers in different places. And I said, well, I got to.
What years was
I
this?
got to get more. It was like maybe 77, you know, 77. And then around like 70, around 78, I started writing DEK, D-E with a C. But there was like maybe like 5 other DEKs, you know. People tell me, yo, this guy's writing DEK, that guy's writing DEK, you know. So I changed it to DEK. And that's what that was like 1979. I started writing DEK, you know. But I wrote DEK. You know, I could take DEK tags all over. So that's why I got so many DE throw-ups all over the train, because I was too much of a toy to write a K yet. You know, I could write a K, but I couldn't do a K throwy yet. You know, that was why a lot of people don't know that I wrote DE first.
You open that the door over there so we can get the window here. So how did you even come up with the tag DEK?
That's a great question. At the time, it was DEC, and I liked the number 10. And DEC is DEK means 10. You know, when it comes to numerals, DEC means 10. So that's how I came up with that. But like I said, somebody else, multiple people had that tag already. So I just changed.
So you just switched it to a K?
I just changed it to a K. That was all.
What year was that?
That was like 1979. So 1979, I started writing DEK. That was official right then and there.
So when that happened, you took it serious from the beginning? Like you eventually you wanted to hit trains and like kill shit from the beginning, or what?
I wasn't really serious when I wrote Matt. I wasn't. Matter of fact, it was Matt 77 I wrote because it was 1977. I wasn't really serious then. I wasn't really serious when I was DEC. But when I went to DEK is where I really took it serious because I started meeting, you know, like not just seeing writers, but meeting real writers. You know, that's where I met. I met Peak VIC. You know, 1979. You know, that's when we hooked up, and then, you know,
yo, Peak, 1979.
1979, yeah.
Half of
Yeah.
these niggas wasn't born yet.
In the M-Yard, like back then, Peak used to write with Ghost at the time, but Ghost didn't write Ghost. He wrote Boo, B-O-O, if I'm correct. Yeah, B-O-O.
Wow. I feel like that Ghost. That's crazy. So, all right. So, how did you come up with the DE throwy? Because that shit is legendary. Back to back to back to back to back. DE, DE, DE.
Yeah, I know. I just came up. I can't even give you how I came up with it. It just came up. You know, like it found me. Like the DEs found me. You know.
So now what happened? So now you're writing, boom, and you start meeting niggas. So now, how did you met Peak? He put you down with VIC. You was bombing with Peak.
Yeah. I was writing with back then. Like I would go to the M-Yard, so like it would be JK, CK, Peak. All these dudes, Psycho, Kick, Greco. You know, they was all in the M-Yard back then. You know, and then I started branching out. I went to this is where my branching out started. I went to Queens Vocational High School. That's the first time I really left my area, you know. I started meeting people, this and that. I started benching then. I would go to I didn't bench.
Wait, but before we talk about you venturing out, because we got to talk about what you did to fucking Bushwick first and those lines, because that shit was mad important for the rest of us that came up and shit. So you had fucking pieces in schoolyards, on the side of fucking buildings, on fucking every train station, all the backs of the train stations, all of them shits had the DE, regardless where you went. And powerhouses.
Pretty much Central train station was my home station. You know, Central on the M. And I wanted people to know that was my home station. That's why I did a DE. And I'm on every single panel so nobody else can get up on there. Like, I was greedy, but that was my station. That was my station. I don't know. Bushwick is where I live, you know, and that's where I spent most of my time. So that's where I started, and that's got most of my attention, you know. No matter what, no matter where I went. If I went to Ridgewood, if I went to Glendale, if I was in Forest Hills, whatever, I always had to come home to Bushwick, you know. And if I ever had paint left over, Bushwick got my paint. That was one of the scraps, right? Yeah.
Before.
Nah, but I've put a lot of paint into Bushwick. You know what I'm saying? Like full cans. You know, like I used to roll up. I used to roll up a racking and have a trunk full, the back seat, and everything full of paint. You know.
So how was it growing up with fucking TOS and TNS? Those were like the wildest niggas in fucking Bushwick.
Yeah, I know. Rest in peace, Oro. Rest in peace, Ono. Rest in peace, CQ. You know, all the TOS people. TOS was in my life before graffiti, you know, because TOS didn't start out as a graffiti group, you know. TOS started in the skating era, you know, when everybody was on roller skates. You know, that was Troutman on Skates, TOS, you know. And then from that, he ventured on to graffiti.
What? Get the fuck out of here, for real?
You know, Nicky and all of them, Ono, you know, they brought in the skating to the era. And we figured, well, everybody's skating on Troutman. Well, let's start a crew, TOS, Troutman on Skates. You know, and then it ventured into graffiti. You know, we wasn't really writing graffiti back then, you know. That's how TOS started, you know. And then from that, the next level, the next generation came, which was TNS, you know, F Boom. Peace, F Boom, and thank you for the promo. Best promo I've seen on Graff Champs yet.
Yes, sir.
I feel special, you know, when I seen that promo.
Yeah, he was gonna look out for you. That nigga was like, "Oh, I got you, my nigga."
Yeah, you know, the TNS came out. You know, F Boom, Zeke, Nye, GI, Poopsie. You know, that was all TNS right there. The next generation.
So now, cause you seen in the promo, the nigga put the old school '88 footage of you rocking the train. Boom, 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 boom. Do you remember the first yard? You remember the first time you like got to rock out?
Oh yeah. The first time I went to the yard, I'm gonna tell you who took me. He's not a known writer. He used to write Sent, SENT. He was from Ridgewood. He used to write ST for short. He knew like he wasn't like no big time writer, but he knew all the writers for somehow, you know, and he knew the ins and outs of the yard. He was the first person to take me to the yard, and we did insides. I remember we was doing insides in there. I didn't do outsides that much because I really didn't have a throw up yet, so I was just doing insides, and then later the outside, and then after the outsides came, everything came after that.
How long it took you to get a throw up, to make a throw up?
A decent throw up took me like maybe like those DEs right there. Maybe took me about a year and a half to get those DEs down pat. You know, now I can do them forwards, backwards, upside down.
Now, because other train writers that I spoke to on Graff Champs, they say the same shit. Oh, I started out doing insides. It's like that's like a common thing and shit. First, they start out in the insides. Is that true?
That's very true. But once I started doing outsides, like inside was not important to me anymore. But I look at footage, like people send me pictures, and I see a lot of insides. But I didn't think I did that many insides. It must have been like rainy days. You go to the yard, you know, you're ready to do outsides, and then, oh man, here comes the rain. Since we're here, let's go in and do insides. And that's the way I was.
So when you was young and you started going in, now you write deck, and now you even have a throwy, you smash a shit. What was you doing? You were sneaking.
They did.
You were sneaking out
right there.
You were sneaking out of your house. Did your mom?
No, I never snuck about anything. Like I was a person, like I just did what I did, you know. If my mom was going to yell at me when I came back, she was going to yell at me, you know. That's, you know, but after a while, like she realized that it's nothing that she can do about it. Like, you know, in my mind, she knew in my mind, that's where I was at, you know. I used to live on, I moved to Palmetto and Cypress on the third floor. You know, sometimes I would whistle from downstairs. I would went right underneath the train station, right on the corner of Palmetto and Cypress. So I would whistle to my mom on the third floor. I'm like, yo, throw me out 2 silvers and a black, you know, and she would drop them out the window to me, and I would catch them. Yeah, back in the day. True story.
Yo, that's
true story. You know,
yo, lucky.
She knew that I wasn't working or nothing. She knew I couldn't afford to buy this paint, you know, but she knew like I was at a point in my life where this was what I was going to do, you know.
So what about racking? Where you who put you on to racking? Where you used to rack at?
The first people that I racked with was this dude. His name is Michael Speaker. He used to write Rock, R-O-K, Rock 79. And he didn't really write on trains or anything. But he got involved in everything. But he's the first person who took me racking. You know. Then after that, I started racking with LE, TM, and JG, VIC crew. And we used to cut out of school. We used to just cut out of school and go racking all over Forest Hills, all over the place. You know, and there's a difference between my mom and their mom. If they got caught with any paint, they were getting punished. Their paint was getting thrown away and all that. So I had to hold all of their paint in my house, you know. So I had a lot of paint. I was like 13, 14 years old, whatever. I had a lot of paint in the house.
Wow, you never run out of paint, son. Even if you do, you got some backup.
Yeah, so but I was the type of guy, like, if whoever I'm going racking with, I got to get more, you know. Like, if you got 20 coins, I got to get 30 coins. Like, you know, like, it was always, to me, it always became a competition. Whoever I was racking with, I had to get more. I just had to. Like, otherwise I felt like I failed.
Was it the same thing when you was bombing with somebody? You had to catch wreck more?
Yeah, who was I talking to? I might have been talking to, I don't know if I was talking to RDM or to AT just the other day. Maybe it was just yesterday. What I would do is when I go in the yard, I would do DE fill-ins. I do a DE fill-in, go to the next card, do a DE fill-in, and until I bombed the whole yard with DE fill-ins. I wouldn't do outlines yet. That way nobody else could get the spots. And then I would come back to the beginning again and just do outlines over the fill-ins. Yeah, so that's how I got up more than everybody who bombed with me. Because everybody that bombed with me, they do a fill-in, and then they do an outline, and then they move to the next card. By the time they got to the next card, I already got 5 cards. You know, that was my thing.
Because I interviewed SP1.
To me, it was all about getting up. It wasn't about style. It wasn't about color. To me, it was about getting up. That's what it's all about for me. You know, some other writers, it's about their style. Some other writers, it's about their colors. It's about this. It's about that. You know, eventually I done a little bit of everything. I done top to bottoms. I done whole cards and all that stuff. But my main concern was getting up. It was getting up. That was my main concern.
Did you ever feel like you was in competition with certain people?
You know what? Nah. To be honest, I never felt that way. Like even to this day, like everybody knows I've done a lot of prison time, and in prison I draw. That's how I make my money. I draw. You know, so I'll be drawing and making money, and then all of a sudden some new dude comes out the hole onto my block, or comes from another block. Now he's on my block and he draws too. Other people on the unit, like, they're like, yo, that dude could draw good. Yo, he's probably better than you, or you're better than him. You know, they make a competition out of it. And to me, it's no competition. Like, I'm not competing with nobody. You know, I do what I do. You know, that's it.
I interviewed SP1 and I asked him who was the most person that he killed shit with. And he said that you was the most person that killed shit, that you just be getting the job done. Tell me how you hooked up with SP.
I hooked up with SP through BL1. He knew a lot of people from Forest Hills. And one day he was like, yo, come chill in Forest Hills with me. I went out there. I met SP, Dash, Hush, you know, all of those writers out there. You know, and then, I don't know, it just, me and SP, it must have been, it was like a meant to be like type of thing, you know what I'm saying? Because we click like, you know, and besides no FYA, probably SP was the best dude I ever wrote with, you know, like I really enjoyed writing with him. And he didn't get up as much as me when we wrote together, because he's a finesser. Like, his S's, he got the perfect S and the perfect P. Like, whenever you look at his throw up, his feelings, there's no line. He don't skip no line. It's a solid feeling. It's nice and perfect. Like he's up there. He's like the top 5. In throw ups, he's like probably my top 5 because it's so perfect. And you look at it, it's like a cotton ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at his SPs, it's like a nice soft cotton ball. I don't know. Yeah, he's up there. Yeah, and I really enjoy writing with him too. Like, he was about the Graff. You know, he's about Graff. Right? And I really felt.
Yeah, he's a super dope writer and shit. Fucking but like you said, DEK, Mac, and No.
A quick story about SP though. He had a Jeep Cherokee, and And to me, his Jeep Cherokee was like a kit car because he didn't go hit highways. Like his Jeep automatically knew what highway to go to. Like he didn't have to steer. Like his Jeep went to a highway. This is a good highway to hit right here. Get out. You know, like, yeah. He got me into highways. Like I would have never thought about doing highways ever. SP got me into highways.
Do you have a favorite spot that you ever hit?
SP BFB, my brother.
BFB, yeah, he's on here. He's saying mad love to you. He's sending you mad love and shit.
Oh, okay. It's hard for me to speak to you and read the comments.
Yeah, nah, he just wrote beep beep. Do you have a favorite spot that you ever hit? Like your favorite, like, yo, this was the toughest shit I ever did?
My favorite spot was the M Yard, Fresh Pond Road. That wasn't just my spot. That was my home away from home. You know, I used to go bombing. You see how many pictures I have in that place in the daylight, broad daylight, on top of the train, on the side of the train, and you know, like that was my home. We have barbecues. I had a barbecue in the M Yard one time when we was bombing. You know, that was my favorite spot. You know,
tell me about the barbecue.
We had a barbecue in the M Yard while we was painting.
Yeah, niggas never got raided and like ran up on.
Oh, all the time. I was telling RDM one day that it was me, Dean, Sept. It was two other people. I know Meg was there. My little brother Meg, rest in peace. He wasn't there, but I had his camera. And Sept had a Mac 11 machine gun in the yard. And we was in there with the machine gun, and we're taking pictures, we're bombing, taking pictures, posing with it, and then we got raided. And I dropped the camera. Like that was our biggest fear, that the police found the camera, you know. But we came back like 2 days later, and we found the camera. The hole that we jumped out on the dead end street, just on the other side of Fresh Pond Road. We jumped out of a hole. When I jumped out of the hole, that's why I dropped the camera. It's crazy. I lost the camera, but I saved the spray paint. But it was in big fear, you know, like we got away, but here it is, the camera with all the film. You know, we got an assault weapon on us, you know. And but we got the camera back. 2 days later, it was sitting right down there where the hole was at that we jumped out. Nobody found it. But yeah, we get raided all the time, you know. And the M Yard, Fresh Pond was it's a small yard compared to some of the other yards. So if you get raided, you got to get out of there, you know. But I got raided a couple times in Coney Island, and while they're chasing us around in one section, we just run to another section and start bombing while they're looking for us in the other section, you know. And so that was the disadvantage of the M Yard on Metropolitan, because it was so small.
Who was all right? So now y'all niggas is in the M Yard. So now that's y'all yard. Y'all niggas own that shit, and everybody knows, yo, this is these niggas' yard.
Right. All
right. So before y'all, like before you blew up, who did the yard belong to?
Oh, that belonged to Psycho. Psycho, rest in peace. Psycho, Midge, Greco, Kick from TKC crew. Yeah, it pretty much belonged. Before I started like really writing, like they pretty much owned the yard. They owned the yard. And it was hard for anybody of color to go to the yard when they was there, you know, like they were all white, you know, so they didn't like, you know, minorities in the yard besides them being their yard, you know. But eventually, I don't know what happened, because somehow I don't look it, but they kind of realized, yeah, this dude's half white. So we got to let him in here a little bit, you know, and then I started fitting in.
So, all right. So now, let me ask you this question, my nigga. Who's the fucking man of trains, my nigga, of all time? If you could pick one nigga, I want to hear from you, nigga. Who is it? One train nigga.
Of all time. It's got to be the Wiz, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. I think, like, when I started writing, Iz was up more than anybody else. Like every train he was up, you know. But then after that, it was like, I don't know, RTW, WW guys like Min, Bo, Sago, you know, they was getting up a lot. They was making their mark, you know, but Iz was probably up the most. You know, I'm not an IRT person, you know, so I really can't speak about all of the trains. You know, I can speak some about the IRT, but I'm not a master on the IRTs. I'm a master about BMTs. You know, I'm a BMT person.
Look, the nigga RT BSK said he shouted you out. He said, "Yo, what up, Dek?" He was in the comments.
Yo, hey, so if you could hear me, RT, peace, man. We ain't got no beef, man. We was 15 years old, and that's just done with, you know.
Old shit, the old school rap.
Everybody to hear that I'm saying peace to RT, and even to your brother AR. Peace. You know, what happened when we was kids, you know. We grew up.
Yo, so let me ask you then, bro. Who got the fucking dopest throw-ups? Give me your top 5 or 10 dopest throw-ups.
Okay.
Hold on, let me get a pen. Hold on.
Favorite number 1 throw-up. You gonna write it down?
Wait. Hold on. Let me get a pen. I gotta get a paper. Hold on. My bad, I wasn't ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
This is kind of a dope throw-up right here.
You give yourself number 1?
Nah. I don't qualify in this with any of them. I don't qualify to be in there. Number 1 all time, OE from Brooklyn. OE. You want to know why OE?
Why?
Because nobody has ever duplicated his E. His throw-up E, nobody has ever. He was the first one and the only one to ever use that E. Right, like my E on my DE, a million people use that E. You know, that's why I don't qualify. But OE is number 1. And then even in his tags, he's got that E that he does in his tags. Nobody's ever duplicated. Only him. He's the only one.
Wow. He got the flow, nigga.
He's my number 1.
Wait, is he from Bushwick?
Yes.
OE is from Bushwick, right? All right, cool. Because I want to claim. We want to claim him.
So then he's number 1. I don't have a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I just have other people that I like. It's him, and then it's the rest. Okay, I gotta say Hayes, Haze. He had
hell yeah.
The SEs that he used to do the SEs. He kind of had an original E, you know. His
fire.
All right, number 3. I'm going with SP. SP1.
Ooh, yes.
Simple. Yeah, simple, but it's always perfect. I'm
fluffy.
I'm the type of writer that I like simplicity. I like something like everybody can read it. It's simple, and there's so many. NE. I don't like Min's MIN. But I like his NEs, and I got to say that's up there in my top 5.
No, that's 4.
And we're going with new age right now. Like he was in a. See, it's hard. You got your train era and you got your non-train era. You know, so it's hard for me to stick because I like YKK. Like I really like his throw up, but he wasn't.
Who?
You know, Scuff YKK.
Scuff.
SKUF. Right.
My bad is that you breaking up, my nigga.
Okay.
You breaking up, Dek.
Nah, you're breaking up. I can see you. You're like, get. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right.
All right, so you said.
Let's see who else I can go with. I like Scenes throw up. Like he's in the top 10 with his little E's. I like his little E throw ups. I'll give you another original person. You know, a lot of people don't like him, but he had ups and he had a Cat MPC.
Cat.
He had a, you know, he was original.
Yeah, I like that.
Trying to think, man. Oh, rest in peace, PG. I like PG's throw up. PG3, PPA, VIC.
PG is what about Ghost?
Yeah. Oh, I don't even know how I forgot about him. See, this is why I don't like these things, you know, because you forget people. Ghost would be in my top five. The GHs.
Hell yeah.
People try to compare who's better, GH or MQ. I think Ghost out. His GH is better than MQ. I like MQ stuff too, but just not better than GH.
And breaking up.
You should sideways.
I think it's better Ghost or MQ. You know, I don't know where those conversations come from, but they come. I don't know. There's not that many others. Like I like originality. You know,
could you move it on?
Like rap music. Like now, I like original. Like, you know, I don't like everybody sounding the same all the time. You know, so it's the same thing when it comes to graffiti. I don't. That's why people talk about like my throw up. How come I don't change it? It's because I got an original K. You know. Long to learn how to do a K, you know, that I was writing DE because I didn't know how to do a K, you know, but now I do a K with a wee on it, you know.
With the wee. Yo, you breaking up, bro. Move your thing around. Pause. Move your thing.
Oh, let's see. Let's try. Hear me now? Can you hear me now? No? Still breaking up?
Nah, I can hear you for the moment. Yeah. And shit. But when did you come out with the K?
Like maybe like 81. I think it was like 81. I started writing with the K. I was just doing well when I tagged since 1979. I started writing DEK, but I didn't do throw ups until like maybe 81 with a K. That's what I was only doing DEs. You know, so a lot of people of the newer generation, they don't understand how really far back that I went because they're only looking at my DEKs, that they don't understand that I was writing DE way before I was writing DEK.
Was Show MSD rocking already? Like when you came out?
No. He not in the yards. He might have been rocking, but it might have been like around 80, 85 or 86. I started bombing the yard with around there. Like he might have been like bombing Bushwick and getting up here and there, but rest in peace. Show like oh, yeah. he represented Bushwick too. You know what I'm saying? Show's a staple of Bushwick when it comes to graffiti, and you know, and a lot of other things. But this is a graffiti show.
Yeah, but and MSD, that's a legendary crew, my nigga.
Yeah. I was writing with I got pictures of another dude from MSD that he's no longer with us with REC. You know, I got pictures in the M yard of me and him. They was starting to put their stuff down. MSD. I like
worse.
I like going to yard. I like writing with Show because he represented Bushwick. You know, like I'm gonna tell you, like real representatives of Bushwick was different than representatives of other places. Like when I went to yards with PG or with Show, like for some reason, doesn't matter what you wrote, if they didn't know you, you was getting got. you was getting robbed in the yard, you know, if they didn't know you, you know. And that did cause a little bit of problems between me and Show at one time because I don't want to mention names, but he had robbed somebody in the yard that I knew, you know. And there was a little bit of beef between them two, you know, and I was in the middle, but I stayed out of it. I'm like, yo, I'm down with you, you know. But I was kind of upset at that point in time that Show robbed this dude because he knew he was down with me, but he wasn't with me. So, you know, that's what happens sometimes.
Niggas never try to rob you in the yards?
I've never, nobody's ever tried to rob me in the yard. Never, ever. I just might have been lucky, you know. It's not, I don't know. So, but I had like a reputation though. When I was writing in the yard, like I had a reputation. Like I never ran away from nobody, you know. There was time to fight, I stood there and fought, you know. And a lot of people knew that.
So let me ask you this, because, all right, so now niggas from the Bronx, would you go to a Bronx layup, to a Bronx yard, or did they go to Brooklyn? Did that happen often? Like, did Queens niggas go to the X? Did it, like, was there one nigga that went to every single fucking yard and killed everything? And was there?
Like, I can't actually tell you I ever ran into anybody in the M yard from the Bronx. Like, but I'm pretty sure there was some people who did. You know, there's a difference between. I'm pretty sure there was somebody that did. Like, I could speak for people from Queens. You know, like Brooklyn, Queens, and all that. I know Ghost probably went to every yard there is. You know, but I know he had a lot of beef, you know, with people from different areas, you know, and you know what that was all about? Jealousy, you know. To me, you know, Ghost is getting up, you know, so people getting jealous, and that's what that was all about. But I never ran into anybody in the yard from the Bronx, to be honest with you. You know, I went to a Bronx yard one time in my life, and nobody was in the yard. You know, the people who took me there, it was just me and them. You know, nobody else was in the yard, and I never went back to that yard. I've been to a layup too in the Bronx, like maybe twice, and the two times that I went there, never ran into nobody.
Nice. Yeah. So what about, yo, now I gotta pick your graffiti brain, bro. Who's the give me your top 5 or 10 favorite writers of all time, just writers, period.
Oh, all time. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We got J.A. J.A. is my all time favorite writer. You know what I'm saying? Because he had my mentality. Get up. You know, that's all he's about, getting up. He don't care about style, this or that, getting up. And I don't think anybody has gotten up more than J.A. You know, so he's up there. I gotta give another on my list, Peak VIC. You know, he was like kind of my mentor, you know. And that was like my mentor. And I enjoy going to the yard with him. I'm going to tell you these 2 people, right? I never met them. I never seen them, but I really enjoyed their graffiti. They were from the IRTs, Delta and Sharp. I used to go benching on 14th Street Union Square, because from 14th Street Union Square, you could catch the 1, 2s, and 3s in one section. Then you go upstairs, you catch the 3, 4, and 5. Like, there was a lot of trains in that area, and when I first started taking pictures, like I must have caught like maybe 3 or 4 whole carts of theirs in one day, that I took pictures of. And I actually duplicated some of their characters because I really appreciated the characters like that, Delta and Sharp. And I never seen them, never met them, but they was doing nice whole carts. The IRTs back then was way better than the BMTs when it came to doing wild styles and burners and whole carts like that. So I used to go there. Favorite all-time riders, I gotta put Kez up there, Kez 5. Gotta put Kez 5 up there before.
That's the piece.
To me, I put Kez 5 up there. It's because to me it was a case in point where the student outdid the teacher. You know what I'm saying? Because when he started writing, I remember the first time I took him motion bombing on the train. That's the 88 video of me and him painting on the train that was the first time he ever did that, and he was just learning how to write. And then I went to prison. We lost contact. By the time I came out of prison, like all I hear is Kids 5 is bombing this, he's all city, he's this, he's that, and then I think he might have got up more than me, in that time. Like altogether, like he, I did a lot of prison time, so that took a lot of my graffiti life away, besides a lot of my other life away too, But I put Kez 5 up there all time. I put the Waves up there all time. Gotta put Ghost up there. You know who I wanted to say that I like when it came to my top 10, what you call that, throwies? I like Giz. Like I like Giz for a lot of reasons. But and all time I gotta put Dessa MTA up. He's got the mindset that I had. He wants to get up, So many legal problems with graffiti, but nothing is gonna stop him, Nothing is gonna stop him. I love that. Never met him, We spoke, wrote each other. I did some drawings for him and stuff. But I love that dude, just because he wants to always be up. Like he's not letting nothing stop him. Nothing stopping him. Like he gets cut, he's bleeding graffiti. Spray paint's coming out of his arms when he gets cut. He's up there. I said peak. I don't know. I'm not really like open.
You got 2 more.
Appreciate the graffiti writers, for some reason. Like people ask me about my pens. I'm selling pens. I was only selling pens because everybody and their mother's telling me you should sell pens. Like I'm not a collector. I'm not into collecting other people's stuff, stuff like that. But
what about the mag and no era? Tell me about that.
That was the best era ever in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like ever in my life. Like Mag and No. Like I said, No was my best partner ever, hands down. No matter who I wrote with, no matter who I will write with, there'll be a never better partner ever than No. I got him a job with me, and when he dropped out of high school, I got him a job with me, and we used to start spray painting early in the morning on the way to work. We would be spray painting. Sometimes during work, we'd be spray painting. On the way home from work, we'd spray painting. Then we go to yards and spray paint. We used to go racking together. Like I loved racking with him. My era would know, like they started locking up spray paint all over the place. So we would travel to Long Island and stuff like that, go racking. And when I tell you, like he would fill up a whole army bag with spray paint and walk out the store with that. I'm not exaggerating. I love writing with No. I love No too. We're not seeing eye to eye right now, but I will always love that man. Like my best partner ever. Mag is my little brother. I love being with him.
What years was this era? of the DEK Maginot, because that shit is very fucking historical in Bushwick. It's retarded.
I know, man. And on the train, because the trains was dying out, and us three, we was a team. We was not gonna let the trains die out. I went to prison and couldn't do nothing about that. But that was probably like from 87, like 86 to like 89, like maybe to like 90. Like we was just rocking out. Window down blockbusters, And then we started doing train stations, I started doing stations with Meg and with No. We would just do stations. Start on one end, and in the middle of the night, we'd just hit a station, walk the tracks to the next station. We wouldn't even take the train. We were just walking tracks, walking tunnels until we get to the next station, bomb the station, and just keep moving. And that's exciting. You know what I'm saying? Like that's that was the adrenaline rush right there. Like you would think you would bomb a station, wait for the train, get on the train, go to the next station. That's not exciting. There's no excitement in that. You're just getting on the train and waiting. No, we will just walk. We will walk like 30 train stations, just walking from track to track to track, down in the tunnel to tunnel to tunnel. That was all excitement, and that's excitement that I had with them that I had with nobody else. Like,
did you hit the tunnels while y'all was walking too?
Yeah, sometimes, but see, back then, and I had this mentality now. I don't like to waste spray paint where nobody's going to see it. Now tunnels are in. Like tunnels are in now, People are looking in tunnels specifically for graffiti, but not back then. People wasn't really like looking through the tunnels for graffiti, So I'm like a person, like I'm not going to waste my paint somewhere where nobody's going to see it. That was part of getting up. So people could see your stuff, That was part of me benching with a camera because I'm trying to see other people's stuff. And that got me a lot into painting trains, because I was writing graffiti on walls all over the place, and this and that. But I'm going to tell you a story. I seen a OE had it a top to bottom with a Howard the Duck. And I seen it. And I just remember seeing it going by. And I'm thinking like, wow, like I really appreciate this. I'm thinking how many other people are going to appreciate this on this long run to the last stop and back. It was on the M train. And I seen it on Cypress between Seneca train station and Broadway and Myrtle. And at this time, the M train went all the way straight down to Coney Island and back. So I was thinking like, wow, I wonder how many people that will admire this like me will see this. And that's what really got me into wanting to spray paint trains, knowing that, I could put my artwork somewhere and thousands and thousands and thousands of people can see this thing, Now with the internet age, I could draw something right here on my table, and post it. 1,000 people are seeing it. It's not the same as back then of spraying on a train and knowing that so many eyes are going to see your stuff. And you don't even care if the people like it or dislike it, but they're going to see it. That was the most important thing. Who cares if they like it or not? But you know what? They're going to see it whether they want to or not. It's big, it's huge, and it's going by. They can't miss it.
Did you ever meet OE?
I never met him. And it was funny because I was with Peak and with PG at one time, and we was going somewhere in Brooklyn, and then I got sidetracked and I went somewhere else. And I remember Peak telling me that they was hanging out with with OE, and I was upset because I really liked him from the beginning. Like OE was like the only person like in the beginning that really, really, really impressed me, because back then I lived on Central train stations, under Central train. I live on 1269 Myrtle Avenue, and upstairs train was Central. So when you take the train from Central, it goes around that long bend to Broadway and Myrtle, and they had big OE P13 wall right there. Like they was the only ones up, and you always see. And I always admired that. So I became an OE fan. Like I'm not a fan. Like I don't really say I'm a fan of a lot of people, but I've always been an OE fan, and I would love to have met him.
I used to think that shit was OS when I was young because I thought the E was an S.
The wall that I'm talking about, that goes from. Do you remember that wall? That in between.
Well, when the train is turning like that,
Myrtle, where it makes the turn from Central into Broadway and Myrtle.
Yeah, of course.
Brick wall. It was up there forever.
Wow. That's crazy. I just today I just saw a spot right there on Myrtle that I had a second floor fill-in since 1993. Me, Scuff, Recipes VE, Doctor, and they just took it out. So that shit lasted 30 years, bro.
Yeah. There's some of those spots, man. It's like that. On Fresh Pond, I was telling AT yesterday on Fresh Pond Road, like Fresh Pond Road was the writers' train station, and there's a bus depot right across from it. You know, I was lucky that me, Peak, and my man Syke, MS, like we did a piece up there, and that lasted at least 20 years before it got taken down. And that was a spot where every graffiti writer comes to the yard, that's going to the yard, has to look at, you know. So we got a lot of notoriety over that, and longevity. That was a nice rooftop. That's another thing that I was really getting into after a while. Rooftops. I had like different like eras, you know. Like I remember my era with PA. I used to write with PA, and we got into rooftops.
So who did you get up the most with, SP or Mag and No?
Mag and I got up more with Mag and No than anyone because we had years together. You know what I'm saying? When I started bombing with SP, he started going to college out of the state. You know, he started going to college, and I used to be like a little kid waiting for the holidays because I knew SP was going to come back home, and we were going to go bombing. Like I was like, oh, I can't wait for this holiday. You know, because I really enjoyed writing with him. And so we didn't really write. We didn't get a lot of time to write together because his college years and then my prison years, you know, took us out of that.
That's crazy, my nigga. What about so I know you said you don't collect shit, but when I know you see the fucking pics on the internet of like all the old shit, does that shit blow your mind when you see new pics of fucking old shit?
Yeah, I do like that. Whenever I see any like old stuff, like sometimes I'll be like just skimming through, you know, Instagram or this or that or whatever site. I'll be just skimming through. But if I see something old, automatically I'll stop and look at it and admire it, take it in, you know. Sometimes I'll screenshot it, you know, and keep it with my little photos on my phone. But I love old stuff. I love old stuff because it was a train era, you know, like people are hitting trains now, right? But it just doesn't seem the same, you know. It don't seem the same. Like I don't know. It's the old stuff that's more important to me.
What about the caps, the skinny caps? You had to make your own GIFs and all that. It was hard to get fat caps and all of that shit to piece.
There's a lot of things that go on now that, you know what it is to me? Like, did your parents ever, like, you complain that you had to go to school and it was a little cold, and your parents tell you, well, I had to walk 5 miles in a snowstorm uphill and all that. You know, like, that's my story now for today's graffiti writers, because they got everything made for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go to the store, you buy a fat cap, you buy a skinny cap, you buy this cap, that cap, a cap that writes 5 different colors on one can of paint somehow. You know, like, you know, back in the day, like, we used to like have to use a razor to cut the hole or put a screw in the hole of a cap, and then hope that you didn't go in too far that when you spray it's going all over down your arms and stuff like that. Like, we didn't have that luxury that they have today. back when I was writing. You know, the only thing that we had back then was the nice fat caps. Back then we had the orange middle fat caps that we used to get off of like Magic Spray, all the Magic carpet spray and this and that, and Niagara starch for ironing. But then so many people was racking them that sometimes you'll go racking, not even for paint, just for caps. And you get to the spot and there's not even one cap there. Like every can you open, the cap is missing, you know. So you gotta make your own. You know. Now everything is there for you, you know. Well, not just the caps. Today's spray paint, you know, you got this low pressure. I'm a Rust-Oleum man to the day I die. Like, I love Rust-Oleum. I don't care if it's high pressure, low pressure, whatever. I'm a Rust-Oleum man. And nobody can tell you any different that no matter what they say, how much they like the paint, nothing lasts longer than Rust-Oleum. If I do a throw up on 30 years today, 30 nigga, if I did something with iron lac or whatever that paint is, you know, it's going to be gone in like 5 years. It's just going to fade away. You know, Rust-Oleum is there for life. You know, like today's paint, it's not for, to me, today's spray paint, it's not for graffiti writers, it's for artists. You know, there's a difference between graffiti artists and graffiti writers, you know, and graffiti bombers. Today's paint is for the artists. I'm not an artist.
So what do you feel about the Graff today?
I'm not an artist.
What do you feel about the Graff today? Do you look at it? Do you know about it? Do you see it?
Where I live, there's not really that much graffiti. You know what I'm saying? So whatever I see is through the internet. You know, and I don't really knock anybody who writes graffiti. You know, I started writing graffiti at one time, and I was a toy for years before. You know, it took me a long time to get to where I was at. You know, so I can't knock anybody. You got to start off somewhere. You know, but I like the state of graffiti now because it seems like it's just more. You know, it's more like I remember coming home from prison. I was gone for like 7 years, and I went to my first time going into New York. And when I seen all the graffiti, I didn't care if it was good. I didn't care if it was bad. I didn't care if it was colorful. It was there. Plentiful. And that's what I loved about it. Like, it was plentiful. That told me that graffiti ain't dying. You know, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. You know, and that's what I love about it. So I don't even care about if it's good or great or this or that. It's there. That's all that counts. Graffiti is there, and it's not going nowhere.
Now, what about your merch?
I really don't have that much merch. Like here and there, I'll do a shirt, you know, and I'll throw it online. Like, to be honest with you, I really don't have time. I don't really have time. I'll make a canvas. It'll take me like a week to do one little canvas because I'm so busy trying to get my life back, you know, I just got out of prison, you know that, you know, I just got out of prison and I'm trying to get my life back, you know, and so I got my time is dedicated more to that than it is to graffiti, but as soon as I get my life back, look out, world, because I'm gonna be hitting the world hard, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm only at a standstill now. I'm not at a complete stop. You know, I love it. I love graffiti, but I'm 90 years old walking with a cane. You know, I'll get a walker with wheels on it, and I can attach a can of paint to it and spray from my walker if I have to. You know, that's the way I'm going to go out. You know, I got some pins. People could DM me for some pins. I don't have that many left. I only had a small order, and they're going very fast. I only got a couple left. Matter of fact. I got one right here. Here's a pin. Let's see if you can see it. My pins look like. I got white with a red outline, and then I got Yeah, no, I got black ones. You know, I only got a couple left. You know, here and there I'll be doing canvases. Let's see. Let me see if I can show you some canvases here.
Show me that work.
Let me see. Trying to get it there. There's some canvases I did. I don't know how maybe make this bigger. Shit, I lost.
Canvas.
I'm gonna show the work, son. Look, nigga did.
That's a big giant slappy right there.
A pop-up Graff Champ card. Yes.
Yeah, once in a while I do church. I'm wearing a shirt right here that I've done. This is a copy of my pins. This is an old I used to sell over here.
Stop playing, son.
But yeah, every once in a while, if you just see something on my Instagram page, you can hit me up and ask. You know, is that for sale?
Yo, you gotta do these. You gotta do personal ones for these. This is like $150 a pop right here, son.
Oh, people be telling me that like I should just stop doing everything and just make pop-up cards.
Yes, yo, you better copyright that idea. Graffiti pop-up cards by DEK, nigga. Or oh shit, my bad. Let me turn the camera. Bug it. Yeah, my bad. I had to show it, son, because this shit is retarded.
Yeah. Thank you. And that one there is worth a lot more money because the hassle that I had to get it to you. You know, a lot of people don't know. I made that card when I was in prison and sent it to SR, and it got lost in the mail. One came back, and I kept every day. I'm calling. Did you get the card? Remember that? Did you get the card yet? Did you get the card? You're like, what card? I mailed it like 3 weeks ago. What do you mean? You didn't get the card?
Yeah, thank you for that, son. But we can't wait, bro. I can't wait to fucking for you to endeavor into the new era of DEK. You know what I'm saying? Let me ask you a question, because there was you was away for a minute and all that shit, and there's another DEK, DEK, 2DX. You know, I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Just like 2 days ago, me and RDM was watching something on YouTube about this dude. He's writing. Yeah, what was he writing? DEK what? Ricky? He's writing DEK something. And then he started, they were showing him going around writing, and then he started doing backwards decks too. I'm like, oh my God, look at this. Like there's so many.
Nah, but
I don't even get that though.
I only bring up DEK 2DX because he's dope. He helped me down. That he's dope. Salute to 2DX. I just wanted to know if you knew about him.
Yeah, I really don't know about him. I don't know who he is. You know, I seen some of his stuff, and he's nice. You know, I'm not that type of person. Like, oh, that's my name. What the hell is he doing? You know, my real name is Benjamin. You know how many millions of Benjamins there are? You know, like that happened. But I'm gonna have every other Benjamin mad at me because my name is Benjamin. You know, but back in the day, though. See, that's the difference. Back in the day, I would have been looking for the dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have been on the hunt for him. You know, I would have been taking out all his stuff. You know, I don't care if it was in front of his house. I was going to go over him. That's the way it was back then. But I don't know. I guess I got older. You know, I appreciate graffiti for what it is. You know, dude wants to write that. Anybody who knows, they know. You know, they know the difference between who I am and who the other DEK is. You know. That's all that matters to me.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? That both of y'all niggas, y'all names is holding a lot of weight, and exactly like you said, in two totally different ways. That's dope. And y'all have the same name, but two totally different writers that have equal respect. That's fire.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, it's DEK, same shit. Yeah.
I know it's DEK 2DX or something like that. I think the cruise that he pushes.
Yep.
DX.
Yeah. Nah, salute to him and shit.
There's another deck. There's a DEK 5 from Brooklyn somewhere. You know, then you got other versions of DEK DECK, and I'm the original. That's all that matters. You know, I'm the original. I'm the originator, not the duplicator.
Fuck that.
And I don't say that disrespectfully, because if you see that on my Instagram page, it says it up on the top, the originator, not the duplicator. You know, but I'm not saying disrespect to everybody.
I'm just joking around. I'm just bringing it up, just so the fans can know that you know about it or not.
79, you got that.
Yeah, 79, yeah, bro. In 79, niggas was in Pampers or not born yet.
Not born.
He wasn't even not born yet, probably. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So what was the best decade of Graff then? What was the best decade? The 80s, the 90s,
It's gone, nigga.
It's got to be the 80s. To me, 80s was the best. You know, this in the 70s, people were just starting to learn style, because in the 70s you had people would do little outlines and put polka dots in them and stuff like that. You know, style started coming out in the 80s, and then you can't compare the 80s and the 90s together, because it was two separate things going on. 80s you had the trains, 90s you had the streets. You can't compare the streets to the trains. It was their own thing.
So the trains is better. The train era was better than the street era.
Me personally, I'm biased to the 80s because I'm a train person. You know what I'm saying? I'm biased. I'm always going to be biased to the 80s. That's where I got my start. That's why I fell in love. 80s is always been. 80s to me has been the best era in my life when it came to everything. When it came into graffiti, relationships, music, hip hop, the 80s to me. That's.
So you used to go to the clubs and shit. You used to go to the clubs in the 80s and shit.
Yeah, I used to go to I used to go to all the clubs. I used to go to the discos back then. I used to go to the rock places, Lamar's and stuff like that, CBGBs. I'm black and white, and I live both lives. You know what I'm saying? I'm into black music, I'm into white music. That's just who I am. I make sure my ethnicity is equal all around. And then most people look at me and they think I'm Puerto Rican. I argue with Puerto Rican people that I'm not Puerto Rican. But I grew up in Bushwick, you know what I'm saying? When I grew up in Bushwick, it was 75% Spanish, so I think I speak it and I understand it a little bit, but I should speak it fluently just because that's where I grew up, you know what I'm saying? My godmother raised me, Lucy, she's Puerto Rican, I grew up.
Yo, I gotta ask you the tough question, bro.
Okay.
Give me the fucking top. Give me the top 3 or 5 best writers that ever came out of Bushwick right now.
Wow. Now, what's your meaning? Your meaning of best. You know what I'm saying? The best. There's a lot of best.
What you consider to be a dope writer.
All round, right? All round. I'm going to go with OE. Right? I'm going to go with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with PG3. I'm going to put Catch 5 in there because he became all city. How many really Bushwick people went all city like Kes did, Not that many. Bushwick. Okay, I'm gonna might go little before your time, but CW crew, TOR, like he had Bushwick on Crush before I was even thinking about writing graffiti back in the days. Like I remember, when I started writing, I seen him up a lot, and this is when I started really hitting Bushwick hard. And when I was on Bushwick and Troutman spray painting the gate, and this older dude comes up to me, and I'm thinking like, man, he's gonna be Joe Cop or something, and try to stop me, And then he was like, "Yo, can I take a tag?" And I looked at him like, "What?" And then he wrote TOR, TOR, and I was like, "Oh man, like I always looked up to you. I've seen you up, I remember that. Like I never knew who he was or nothing. And he was from the neighborhood, and he was from 111. Like he used to hang out at 111, and somehow I never seen him. I live on Troutman. He sent me another game, Wow. Why is that a butcher? KA, TKK. He had his ups. A lot of those people. I don't know if Gano was from Bushwick, wasn't he?
Uh-huh.
He had his ups.
CANO, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's
Show.
Yeah. How can I forget that? Right. Show MSD. Show MSD. Rec MSD. Like they had their ups in Bushwick. How can I forget? AT and KP.
Right.
Like they had their ups. This is before, it might be before your time too, but at one time, all the sanitation trucks were clean, but they used to park down by Flushing Avenue around there. Like AT, like he was the king of the garbage trucks at one time. Like he was purple marketing all the garbage trucks. Like he brought the graffiti to the garbage trucks at that time. I don't know.
Did you ever hit the garbage trucks?
Yeah. I actually went with him. Like the first time I went to hit the garbage trucks, I was with AT. First time I hit the garbage trucks. This was we was in junior high school at the time. I was in junior high school, 277, when I hit the garbage trucks.
Yo, KP has one of the sickest throwies ever too, and AT, bro. That shit is like the old school.
No, I'm gonna tell you who I got put in there also though. JRC. And two, he got into his little trouble. Like he was kinging the freight trains at one time, doing top to bottoms on the freights. Can't forget about JRC.
Yeah, JRC is one of the first niggas I used to bomb with, that wasn't from my block and shit.
Yeah.
JRC, Dustin niggas, them niggas. And shit, word, salute to JRC, my nigga. What about the crazy? Give me your craziest bombing story, my nigga.
Oh, I got a lot of stories. I give you. I got a lot of them. I can't get none of them in. I'll give you a story. I had on the corner of Jefferson and Evergreen, where the old beer factory used to be, between Evergreen and Central. Me and DG was doing pieces on that wall. And you've probably seen it. I had a big green color deck, and it was complete, but DG was not finished. We was piecing on that wall. It was maybe 2:00 in the morning, and cop car turns around the corner. No sirens or nothing, but he just opened his door and came out to chase us. And DG took off, and the cop got back in the car, and he chased DG. So since I was well, the cop's gone, I'm gonna finish my piece. And I finished the whole thing. And then by the time DG came back, we didn't have no time. He never got to finish his. Rest in peace, DG too. I
Yeah.
with DG too. Yeah, that was like one of the stories. Like the cops came, chased us, and I froze. For some reason, I just froze. I froze, and he ran, so he caught the cops' attention. And took him away. I was able to finish my piece. DG never got to finish his piece. Never came back. I don't understand why.
You wild to have Ghost to stand there and finish your piece. I would have been Ghost. I would have been like, "Ow, nigga."
Just same thing. Just recently, we was hitting the freights, and one of the people he was like, "Yo, I see something," and he dipped underneath the train, and the other two dudes that was with me was like, "Yo, what are we gonna do?" And I was like, "We're gonna finish our pieces." Like that's the way I am. Like, we're gonna finish our pieces. Whoever he's seen or whatever he's seen, like they didn't come to us yet. When they start coming to us, then we worry about it. Until they come to us, there's nothing to worry about. We came here to do this. We're gonna finish this. But there's like when paint started getting locked up. Instead of traveling far to go get paint, I was just robbing paint stores, like breaking in the middle of the night, robbing paint stores. And it was me, BL1, Breeze, and somebody else. We was in Forest Hills. Matter of fact, we was hanging out with SP, Dash, Hush, and some other people in this little area that they hang out at. And we was just walking home. And we walked past this a hardware store. And I'm trying to think what street it was on, but we walked past this hardware store, and I tell BL, like, "Yo, I could open that gate. We could break into it. I could open that gate with no tools. I can do it right now." He's like, "Get out of here." I open up the gate. We go in the front door, and it's dark. We can't see nothing, but we know we can see the spray paint. Like our mind is spray paint. So it's funny because it's dark. So I tell Breeze, "Yo, go look for a shopping cart. Those shopping carts that when your grandma used to do the compra with, and they fold them open. Find one of those carts. It's a hardware store." Now you're thinking, we're in a hardware store. You know how many thousands of dollars that we can make on power tools and all that stuff? Like, we're such into graffiti, we don't even care about the money that we can make. We're in this place, all we're taking is spray paint. So we're walking through Forest Hills, man. With shopping carts and spray paint. We're walking through Forest. Oh, wait, first I tell Breeze, go find a shopping cart. We're in there. And all of a sudden we hear boom, 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 boom. There was a hole in the floor that led to the basement where they would bring stuff up and down. Breeze fell through the floor to the basement while we're robbing his place for spray paint. So that was the first thing. So we finally get him out. Then we get shopping carts of spray paint. We're walking through Forest Hills, which is a rich neighborhood. Anybody knows about Queens, it's a really rich neighborhood where you shouldn't be doing anything there. Especially me, a man of a color over there walking at 2:00 in the morning, the cops are going to pull you over. When I'm walking with the spray paint and the cops are coming and BL's like, "Oh shit, should we run?" And I'm like, no, let's just keep walking like nothing, see what happens. And the cop makes a U-turn. So then we're thinking like, oh, damn, we're busted. So all of a sudden the cop comes, he rolls down his window. He's like, "Hey, yo, up the block over there in the trash, there's like about 50 cans over there." So then, because he heard the cans while we was walking. So he was talking about beer cans for us to get nickel deposits. So he thought we had like old beer cans that we was going to return. So that was one of the adventures we had. Just like nowhere.
Cars full of smoke. This is like 2 time in the morning. Is this?
Stolen paint, and the cop's going to tell us to go get empty beer cans up the block. Like, like
that's funny.
That's the way we should do it. Like adventures like that. Me and PA, we there used to be a Martin's Paint on Cypress and Myrtle Avenue. That was like one of the last Martin's Paint openings. Martin's Paint, their Martin's brand really sucked, but the silvers were like the best silvers you can get. And that's a busy site. Cypress and Myrtle was like always busy. And we broke into the roof there to get spray paint, you know. We would just walk up to places like hardware stores and just smash the window and go in with duffel bags, load up with spray paint, and just run away. You know, that's what we did. Spray paint back then. Like, the hell with racking, you know. Now racking, everything is locked up. You got to go far away. So we were just getting it hard, you know, get it our way, like as much as we can. And again, that was more like a adrenaline rush. You know what I'm saying? Like adrenaline.
So at the end of the day,
there was one time we got raided in Astoria. There was a lot of us. Rest in peace, FK. We was in Astoria layups, and police was coming from let's say the right side of wherever we was at, and we was running to the next station, and they already had police waiting for us on the next station too. And I don't know if you know FK. FK was big and fat. Like, he was like almost 300 pounds. And we had, in Astoria, layups are a lot higher than regular train tracks for some reason. So a lot higher. And we had to slide down the pole. And I'm sliding down, and FK's right over me. I'm like, please let him hold on. Don't let him fall on me. You know, so I'm halfway down the pole, and he can't hold on no more. And he comes down, bam, lands right on me. And somebody picked me up. I don't remember who it was. Somebody else picked me up just as the cops were coming around the corner to get us. If that person didn't pick me up, we was caught. And for some reason, I don't know how I didn't get hurt, because the fall was so high, and I got a 300-pound man who landed on top of me, you know, and we got away. You know. Adrenaline. You know, I know SP told you that the Seneca train station story too. The rooftop me and SP was going to do. When the cops came while we was doing that rooftop, and it was a crazy jump. We had to go from one roof. The only way we could get away is jump from this roof to a roof across an alley, like. And it was kind of easy for me, but I'm a lot taller than SP, you know. And he was afraid. I was like, nah, you got to jump, man. You got to jump. And he ran and he jumped, but he didn't make it, you know. And I happened to grab him just before he was going over the side, you know. And it was one thing I could have got away. I could have got away and just left him, like, you know, but I took the chance and let me get caught, because if he gets caught, I'm getting, you know, I'm not going to let him just get caught like that. That's not the way I was. You know, if you with me, you with me. You know, we're together. And we got away. You know, that was another adrenaline rush, you know. You know, it was good. When you get away, you laugh about it. You know, like, you know, but at the time you're getting chased, you're not laughing. You know what I'm saying? But when you get away, it's like, you know, when your heart's beating, you're sweating, you know, and you're like, but I got away, you know. A lot of that has feeling. And that's what I'm saying. Like today, like I see videos of people bombing in the street, and nobody's paying them no attention. Like in broad daylight, you know, they're out there bombing in Manhattan, all over. The cops are paying them no mind. People just walking by, admiring what they're doing. To me, that's the difference between graffiti when I rode on trains and now. There's no adrenaline in that, you know, like today, like they're really not going to bust the chops trying to catch you for doing that, because there's graffiti all over the place, you know. Every time you went to a train yard, there was a chance that you was going to get chased. There was a chance that there's going to be another crew there that you're going to have to fight. There was a chance that there was going to be another crew there that might try to rob you, you know. Like the adrenaline in my era was far higher than the adrenaline in this era. You know, graffiti writers of today, some graffiti writers of today don't like really have a lot of respect for older writers, but they don't know the risk and chances that older writers had that they'll never have today. You know, like getting up today is a lot more easier than getting up when I was up. You had to put in work. You know, like you had to put in work. You know, today, like you know, you gotta put it. You still got to go out there and do it today. You know what I'm saying? But the risks are far less greater, you know, than back then.
Yeah, my boys just said it. The new writers don't get robbed really for their paint. They don't. What do you feel about out of towners coming in and killing New York? Do you support that? Do you feel? What do you think?
Damn, who was I just talking? Matter of fact, it was AT yesterday. Me and AT was going out yesterday at RDM to check out this spot. It's a spot that I want to get up on. But it's a spot where you most likely you got like a 60% chance of getting caught doing it. But I'm gonna do it though eventually. But AT brought it up like man, these people are coming from not only from other states to New York to hit the train, but from other countries. You know, and or if they're coming from other countries to hit our trains, why aren't we hitting our trains? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? We got people from other countries coming to hit our trains, but we're not hitting our trains. You know, we should know.
You know why? Because now it's less chance of them getting caught because they come hit them shits and go back to their country. That's why.
Yeah, you know, yeah, pretty much. But I respect them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like you're going to a place that you've never been before. You know what I'm saying? You don't really know that much about, but you're gonna go do your thing. And let me tell you, those niggas, they're doing their thing. You know, they're not painting. It's not like they're painting window down. They're doing whole trains. You know, they're a team. They're
that
a team.
Is crazy, bro.
And just that takes balls right there because they don't know nobody. You know what I'm saying? You know, like if we're in the yard and a crew comes up and you're not down with the crew, but if you know somebody, you know, there's a chance you know somebody that they know, you know, you can get away, you know, without getting robbed or whatever. You know, these dudes coming from another country. Who they gonna say they know? You know, I know Donald Trump. I know Donald Trump. You know, who do they really know? You know? They're taking a real risk. But I like that. Yeah, I like that other people from other countries are coming here to bomb trains because before they started coming here to bomb trains, people were just going to let the trains die. That's the way I see it. You know, graffiti was just going to let the trains die and go away until these people from other countries started coming here and hitting the trains. You know, now trains are starting to become alive again, you know?
Trains, man. I just missed the train era, you know? I'm too young. And shit, I never got to like do a fill-in on a train and see that shit run, dude. You know, I never did none of that. I wish I was able to.
I say this because I don't like to influence anybody, but the trains are still there.
Nah.
Still there. You're still alive. You still got a chance to go hit it.
That's crazy.
You still got a chance to go hit them. You know, like everybody got a bucket list. Put that on your bucket list. Let me go hit a real train.
Yo, so like before we get off this and we say all of the last things before we say and shit, I want all the fans to know and realize what you meant for graffiti, especially around our way. You know what I'm saying? Especially for niggas like me, for Kez, rest in peace, for DG, rest in peace, and so on and so forth, for the Bushwick, the whole Bushwick era. I want to thank you and salute you for all the work you put in, and thank you for coming through. And all of that. Is there any like last things you want to say to anybody and shit before we jump off of this shit?
Yeah, don't think that I'm talking bad about the new era, the new generation of graffiti, because there's a lot of new graffiti writers that came after me that I really look up to. You know, like I look up to all like Dessa, Giz, you know, all of them. Like I look up to them writers. You know, they came way after me. You know, and I remember Mag, like Mag was a lot younger than me, you know, so he knew a lot of them, you know, and he used to always tell me about, yeah, this dude Giz and this and I was thinking like, Giz, you know, like what the fuck is that, you know, and then blew up and like I really appreciate his graffiti. I appreciate Des's heart, you know, when it comes to writing, you know, like there's a lot of new generation writers that I like, you know, that I appreciate because they have the heart and, you know, and then they have the talent. I wanted to say, keep staying up, keep getting up, you know, and don't ever I don't believe in disrespecting anybody who's new at graffiti coming up and their toys or whatever, because you got to start somewhere, you know. If you love graffiti, you want people to write graffiti, you want it to keep going. So you can't discourage somebody from the very beginning. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the best graffiti writer ever in the world. Don't ever disrespect a younger graffiti writer, you know, unless he's doing something that deserves to be disrespected, you know. But if he's just trying to get up, give the man his respect, you know what I'm saying? Give the man his respect. And okay, just gonna give you a real quick story about something. I've been on either prison, probation, or parole like more than half my life. And I was just supposed to max out recently. You know, I was looking for this date because this is the date that I was going to start like bombing hard, you know. So parole came to me and they told me, hey, you're free. You maxed out. You're a free man. Go do what you want to do. No paperwork, no nothing, you know. And I was happy, like, you know, like I'm going to go bombing, I'm going to do this and that. A week later, they came to me and said they made a mistake. And says I got 5 more years.
What? God. What?
Like I can't. They're telling me like I had to change. I couldn't live where I was living. You know, like I was living with a friend. Like it became more than a friend. It's a family member now. You know, and I can't live there no more. So I had to go get another spot so parole could say that everything's okay. So I'm set back now 5 more years. You know, so it's 2028. I'll be a free man. You know, as long as I don't do anything worthwhile and going back to prison anymore. You know, so and I'm not trapped. So that kind of like slowed down my graffiti return. My graffiti return, it just got put on pause last week. Last week they came to me and told me we made a mistake. You got 5 more years. So.
Keep doing the merch, though. Yeah, keep them, son. But, you know,
I have visions of going to New York and just killing New York, you know. You seen like this Thanksgiving, this past Thanksgiving, I went to New York for like a day and I killed like 20 train stations in one day. So, you know, that was just a small sample of what was coming, you know. Otherwise,
well, just stay positive, my nigga. Right? Stay positive. Everything will be good.
Yeah. Yeah, and keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Keep graffiti in the media. You know what I'm saying? Let people know. You know, let people come in here and tell their history and teach history to the younger people out there. You know, let them know what they're getting into. You know?
Yes, sir. I still got one last question, bro. To you, okay. Who would you like to see on Graff Champs?
Oh, that is an easy question. I would like to see AT and KP. I would like to see them on Graff Champs. WR crew, AT, KP.
Yes,
they had crazy styles since day one. Since day one, they had crazy styles. They got crazy ups. You know what I'm saying? KP still destroying stuff. You know, I would like to see them next. KP and AT. Shout out to both of them. You know, they're from my era. You know, but I look up to them. You know, for what they did in the graph scene.
That's a fact. Yo, salute to you, DEK. Thank you for coming through the Graff Champs. It was a pleasure hearing you talk. You know what I mean? Salute, my brother. Salute.
I'm trying to get on here too. And once again, I want to let our FB know, like, I really appreciate his promo. Like, that promo made me feel really good when I seen that. Like, he put a lot of time and effort into it, and I think it's not because it's me, it's because, but it's the best promo ever on Graff Champs ever, in my view.
Salute to F, my nigga F Boom. Salute to my nigga Diablo. Salute to my brother Joe 21. Salute to my brother Rav MBK, Nico MBK, the whole Graff Champs, baby.
Here's one more newer generation that came after me. Hops. I want to give a big shout out to Hops. You know what I'm saying? He's the younger generation that came after me that I look up to. You know, I look up to him. Hops.
Too, that nigga's a legend, boy. Hops, my nigga Hops TNS, you heard? My nigga F Boom. Hey. Yo, salute, Dek, my bro. You got stuff out of the top, but I salute you, my brother. Thank you again.
Salute.